Hey y'all, and welcome to the Birmingham real estate market update. This is the 63rd week of us going through and looking at the Birmingham real estate market in terms of inventory, in terms of pricing, and in terms of all the statistics that matter for our Birmingham real estate market. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at this week and compare it to the same week against last year. And then we'll also look at inventory currently and how that's changing, because it's definitely changing from what we've been seeing for the last year. Also today, when I started doing this show, there was a lot of, it was during the coronavirus shutdown, and there was a lot of stimulus action for a lot of the people that I work with. A lot of my clients are small business owners, investors. A lot of my friends are agents and business owners and investors. And so we did a lot of stimulus talk, and that's kind of trailed off, but there's a stimulus update that I wanted to point out to y'all who have been watching this show. So we're going to hit that today also. I am doing a webinar on investing in Birmingham real estate on the 30th of this month. We'll cover just areas, strategies, kind of the whole big picture. And you can register for that at robert.h.drum/webinar. So let's get started on the numbers here. We had 403 closings last week. That compares to the same week the previous year at 500. And you can see last week we were right in line with the same week the previous year. So July, I would say we might be running a little bit behind schedule for what we did last year, which is interesting. There's just, as we kind of recover from the COVID shutdown and start to normalize, it's a whole new dynamic of what's happening in our market. And you can see that in the inventory from the shutdown really until about 6 weeks ago. The number of active listings on our market was dropping almost week after week after week. And so the last 6 weeks, we've seen it slowly creeping back up higher, and we saw that again this week. We've got about 75 or so more listings available on the market that you could purchase today, compared to how many listings were active at this time last week. And then you can also see the number of homes that are under contract that are set to sell has dropped a little bit. It's kind of held stable the last couple weeks, but it's down a little bit from its peak, which you can kind of see in the translated in the number of closings. So still a very hot market. If you saw our June statistics last week, it's an extremely hot market still. Homes are selling on average at 102% of the list price, with very short days on market. But we're seeing some shifts in inventory and some things going on in the market that we'll definitely be keeping an eye on. One of the main things we're keeping an eye on for this recovery and just to measure the strength of the market is the 30-year mortgage index, just a measure of, it's kind of a measure of how far your dollar will go. If you've got $1,500 to pay on a mortgage every month, you know, that right now that may get you a house somewhere in the range of 300,000, let's say. And if rates were to go up a full percentage point, that may only get you a house worth 260,000. So it's kind of how far your dollar goes in terms of how much house you can buy. And right now, as long as we stay kind of right where we are, I don't see that affecting the market or really price appreciation slowing down, or really definitely not no price decreases given rates at these levels. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. We see this week 2 ticks down from 2.9% average to 2.88% average. And so not really a whole lot to report there, but I think that's a good thing. On the stimulus update, so EIDL loans were one of the stimulus measures, really specifically for small business owners. It was a big part of the government reaction to coronavirus, and I have a lot of friends fellow real estate agents and people who and other business owners who got these loans from the SBA. They had great terms, just a great kind of working capital lending facility that was available. And in April of this year, they changed the rules, extended those lines to where there's more working capital available through these loans. So if you already got one, you may be able to increase the amount that you borrowed by just filling out some paperwork on your portal through the SBA portal that you used originally. If you Google it, you can find a lot of information on it. I didn't know about this until this week. Kind of dropped the ball on this part of it, but wanted to let y'all know about that now, because I do think it is, for business owners, it is a great source of funding and working capital if you have needs through this recession, through this kind of coronavirus time. So wanted to make sure y'all knew about that. If you're interested in investing in Birmingham real estate, you can go to robert.h.drum/webinar and sign up for that webinar we're doing at the end of this month. I thank y'all for watching today. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see y'all next week. We're going to do a real estate investor roundup and cover a case study from one of our recent transactions, and then we'll be back with market update on Friday. So y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next week.